Hey everybody, so long time no see. Coming at you from South Dakota. South Dakota officially wins windiest state in this country. I know I haven't been to every state yet, but I guarantee it's not windier than South Dakota. I talked to some locals and I was like, is it always this windy? And they said, well, it's South Dakota, so if it's not windy, then we think something's wrong. I was like, they said it's better than in the winter when it's freezing, and I was like, you're right. It has been super helpful because it is pretty hot, but I've learned to be extremely grateful for the holes in my kayak, because when I was kayaking earlier today, I'd hit the waves and they were just like crashing onto the boat, but it's okay because I have holes in my boat, so I'm unsinkable. Anyways, so I'm here to talk about Michigan. Michigan started off slow. So first of all, Michigan, I wish I was like YouTube savvy. I would put up a picture of it right here so you could see it. But it's the mitten and the UP. So there's like the little mitten guy, and then Lake Michigan and Lake Superior. And there's like a little strip of land, and they call that the UP, or the Upper Peninsula. And they call the rest of it the mitten. So I'm breaking it into two videos because I did a lot in Michigan. So in the mitten, I learned all about how campgrounds are not always available in the summertime. I had a terrible string of luck in Michigan. I actually, the entire time that I was in the mitten, never found a campsite on the first try. Every time I showed up to one, it was either full or it didn't exist, or like whatever it was. So I got a little bit more like quick on my feet trying to find backup options. There's always something, and state parks are only $20. I was also told by the locals that you should just back in, and then they won't know you're not from the state, and then it's free to stay there. So at first I went to this site and it was not free. It was like this private community thing. So they recommended me to check out this city park. It was in Otsego, Michigan, and it was super cute. It was only $10 a night, or no, it was $5 a night, and I stayed for 2 nights. And they had, oh my gosh, a crazy storm. It was like 60-mile-an-hour winds and like giant hail, but literally it missed us by like 2 miles. And I was like, ooh, hallelujah. Because I just have a tarp, so I don't know how that would do with any of that. But it was super fun. I met this really cute couple from Michigan. The woman's name was also Jess. Hey, what up? So that's how I knew they were cool. And we gave each other some places to stay at Yellowstone eventually. And I just kind of hung out in the park. If I pay to stay, then I'm staying there. And I love to hang out at parks, so it turns out that was perfect for me. And then I went to this campground. I found it. It's kind of in the middle of the woods. It's called Wheeling Lake, and it had this like tiny little lake. I was gonna put my kayak in, but it's like pretty tiny, so I didn't put it in. Instead, I went to the beach. This is where I first discovered my love for the Great Lakes. So in Alabama, what's funny is that I left the beach being like, man, the beach just wouldn't be the same without a shower. And then I got to Michigan and I was like, I don't care. Because there was like almost no Planet Fitnesses. And I went to the beach like every day and I didn't care. I broke my hula hoop there. It was so sad. But I went to this little cute town. I don't remember what it was called. But it was super cute. I went to this little coffee shop, and then I walked over to the beach and kind of spent the day there. And some people swim in that water, but it's kind of cold, so that wasn't for me. And then I tried to camp at this great campground by Mackinac City, so that I could go to Mackinac Island. But it didn't work out because it was always packed. There was only 6 spots, and there was always a forestry officer sitting there like, we're full. I'm like, dang. So I ended up not going to the island. I will be back, Michigan, don't worry. And then fun fact, if you're ever going to cross the Mackinac Bridge, pay attention to the weather, because your girl didn't. And I was like, I gotta get to my next campsite. And I went across that bridge and it was so foggy I couldn't even see it. And on top of that, it costs $4 to go across that stupid bridge. So I paid $4 to see nothing. And I know that's like a big attraction in Michigan. So plan ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Learn from my mistakes. But I also went, so instead of going to Mackinac Island, I went to Sheboygan to check out Lake Huron. So that was my second Great Lake. So I spent a lot of time in Lake Michigan. I instead of going to Mackinac Island, I went to Lake Michigan and Lake Huron again. I just kind of chilled on the beach, chilled at some parks, really soaked up some sun. Michigan really did not want to treat me right because it woke me up with like 38-degree weather, like 5 days in a row, I swear. So Michigan really started from behind. The Mitten and I didn't necessarily get along, but the next part, the UP, that one was the best. So it gets its own video. But yeah, that was pretty much all for the rest of the Mitten of Michigan. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to make the next video right away because I'm so far behind. But check out just me and my kayak hanging out. We were on that lake earlier. If it gets less windy, maybe we'll go back out. But love you guys. Okay, bye.